Hey guys. Good morning, everybody. Hey, is that JLB? Journey with Deval. Oh, Jack. Deval Jack. Well, good morning. And good evening if you're in the Philippines. Hey, lady. Saudi Arabia. Yeah. OFW. Hey, Mylene. Well, I'm glad you're back. Glad to see you back. Yeah, just noodle around on my guitar while people come in and join us. So as many of you know, my wife passed away, lovely Vivian, last October. It's almost a year now, another couple of months. Hello, Raquel. Thanks for joining us. So anyway, you know, that put me, even though I didn't want to be. Yeah, me too. Jack, matter of fact, I was just talking to my stepchildren, whom I care very much for. As a matter of fact, I still take care of them. I support them financially. And I actually feel bad for them because, you know, Vivian was a widow when I met her. So the kids had lost their father back in, I guess it was 2014. And then last October, they lost their mother. So that leaves me. I'm it, I guess. But anyway, I care a great deal about them. Hey, Mary Jane. Watching from Hong Kong, huh? Okay. So anyway, my stepchildren, was just chatting with them yesterday on Facebook Messenger. And they would like for me to come visit. My middle son, who's about 22, I guess now, is a chef at the Marco Polo Hotel in Cebu City, which I've never been there, but I understand it's a really nice place. Let's see, Mary John. Oh, Pampanga. Yeah. I know some people living up in Pampanga. I've never been there. I've actually never been to Manila either. Hey, Apple from Lebanon. Ah, okay. More OFWs. So, yeah, I've never been there. Would love to visit. So I'm hoping my next trip. I'm thinking that if because I have some business interests in Taiwan and Tianjin in China, and I was thinking that the company was going to be sending me there. So if that's the case, then I'm a heck of a lot closer, and I can just hop on a plane and visit Cebu with no problem. But otherwise, if none of that works out, then I'm just going to take vacation probably in November or December and fly over and visit with my stepchildren. And of course, being a widow, I sometimes get lonely and, kind of been looking for a new girlfriend. And so I figured today, and I did a video about getting married because I was getting a lot of questions from people about what it takes to get married in the Philippines, especially if you're a foreigner like me, and you only have a limited amount of time, and you want to, you only have maybe 2-3 weeks. I'd suggest 3 weeks to go over, get married, and then you have to leave, go back to work or whatever. That's it's a fairly compressed amount of time to be doing that in, because it takes 10 days. You have to wait 10 days after you get a marriage license before you can even get married. So I did a video suggesting a few things you can do ahead of time that will make it easier when the time finally comes. Hey, Angie, I guess you were watching. I don't know. Hey, Christina, how are you? Chen, how are you doing from Hong Kong? Hi, Marilyn, good to see you too. So anyway, some people ask me about, how do you find a good woman? Or I guess women want to find a good man. And so that kind of got me thinking about some of the, hey, Monina, good to see you. That got me to thinking about some of the dating issues, if you will. I guess the easiest thing is if you got the time and you can spend the time in the Philippines, then just meeting in person is the easiest thing to do. But when you're separated by the Pacific Ocean, like I am, a lot of it I have to do online. As a matter of fact, I met Vivian for the first time online, and we became boyfriend and girlfriend after my first trip to the Philippines. I went to see her, and we spent 2 weeks together, and I fell madly in love with her. And one thing led to another, and we ended up married. And that's just the way it goes. But it's interesting. I found that some Filipinas just right away, I mean, I'm chatting with them for, a few days, and next thing you know, they're saying that they love me. And I'm like, how could you, we've never even met in person, So I think that's premature, but some are, just too anxious, I guess the word is, to be in love with some guy. And to be honest with you, if you're chatting with a Western man, that's probably going to turn him off. It's going to take a little time chatting back and forth online and those kinds of things before you can confess your love for him. For me personally, I have to meet somebody in person. It's fine to chat online and talk back and forth, but I'm not going to fall in love with an image on the screen. I have to meet that person one-on-one, feel her lips when I kiss her and that kind of stuff. And until I do that, I'm not going to be in love. I may like you, but I wouldn't be in love with you. So let's see. What do you guys have to say? Yes, thanks, Lucy. Yeah, I'm having fun with the live stream. I enjoy it. I enjoy chatting with you guys. It's a lot of fun. And this weekend, my son and I have been working around the house. I have, for some reason, in my house, there are 3 toilets. I have one downstairs and 2 upstairs. And of those 3, 2 of them were not working properly, And so I had to go to the Home Depot, the hardware store, and buy repair kits for 2 of the toilets. And one of them is a very old toilet, the one downstairs, and the tank cracked while we were putting it back together. And so later on today, I bought a new tank, and I've got to go pick up the new tank, and we got to put that in. So there's always something to do when you own a home. There's always maintenance and things that have to be done. Hey, Tins from Manila, welcome. You're not late. I actually started a little early today, mainly because I want to get some of the work done around the house here. So anyway, guys, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on how many of you actually want to have a Western boyfriend? How many of you are looking for a Western boyfriend and maybe one that becomes a husband later? Let me know in the comments if that's what you're looking for. Chen, you have to, Chen asks, how does she know if the American guy she's chatting with is sincere? And which is, like I said, one of the reasons that you want to meet in person. A lot of people online can say, if you look at the comments of my videos, some of these people are just ridiculous, the things that they say. And I'm sure they would never say it if they were in person, sit across from the table from me, talking to me face to face. So, yeah, it takes a lot of discernment is the word. You have to figure out whether or not this person is being real with you, and it takes time. It takes time to figure that out. For instance, if I was really really interested and wanting, found somebody online I was really starting to like a lot, I may do something like send her flowers. It's easy to do online. You can order flowers and send it to her. You have to have her address first. So yeah, I usually have to figure out a way to do that. I would say if he sends you flowers, he's very, very sincere. Beyond that, I don't know. There are guys that are, married guys that are just cheating on their wives, and they just want to, hang out in the Philippines for a couple of weeks, and that's all they want. That's all they're interested in, and then they're going to leave, and you're going to be back on your own again. So, but yeah, it can be difficult to discern whether or not somebody is being sincere with you or not. The internet is the wild, wild west. So, Hey, Vlog, good to see you too. Glad you're here. Hi, Lillian. Yeah. Christina, hi. You looking? Well, when I say Western guy, tends, I mean, Americans, Canadians, British, Australian, just people from Western culture. Um, to be honest with you, the Philippines is becoming more and more Western as time goes on. But I'm not sure what you mean by more liberated. Um, I'm not. I'm not sure what you mean by liberated. Yeah, Melina. Yeah, it's true that you can show your feelings. I mean, you might be having some feelings with this person you're chatting with, but um, love is a very, very strong emotion, and for me, I cannot be in love with somebody that I'm just chatting to on a video screen, on my computer or whatever. It's going to take more than that. Hey, Angie, good to see you. Hey, vlog. I guess the best places to search are the dating sites. I mean, because on a dating site, the guy is there because he's looking for a girl, and the girl is there because she's looking for a guy. So now you have to be very patient because there's a lot to weed through. And from what I understand, a lot of girls are telling me that guys are there rude, and especially some from Middle Eastern guys, and the they're looking for sex mainly, not nothing more. So they want they want to see sexy pictures of you and that kind of stuff. And I mean that's really not that's not somebody that's really looking for a partner, if you know what I mean. That's just somebody who's looking. I mean, like I said, the internet's the wild, wild west, and these people will say all kinds of stupid stuff. And you're gonna have to weed through all that. So yeah, I'm not sure what you mean, Manina. Uh, hey, good to see you too, Angie. What dating site? I don't know. I met Vivian on one called Asian Dating, and I used that one. Well, that was quite a few years ago now. But the at that time, I really didn't know. I didn't have any idea, to be honest with you. I didn't know anything about the Philippines, and um, you know, I just didn't know. I really didn't. So I didn't know if I was going to be talking to a Thai girl or a Chinese girl, Indian girl, Malaysian girl. I had no idea. So I just went about looking. It was kind of somewhat innocent, really. I just had no clue what I was doing. So, but there are some that are very specialized. I'm told that Christian Filipinas, Filipino or something like that is a good one. There's one called Date in Asia that is totally free, doesn't cost anything. Is a place you can start. And then there's Filipino Cupid, Thai Cupid, and all that, depending on what you're looking for, you know. So there are a number of them out there. See, Deval Jack says, yeah, about 6 or 7 months before "I love you" was ever spoken. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if the girl is too quick with the "I love you," it's going to turn off the guy. Generally speaking, that means that she really doesn't have a clue. Um, Hi Raquel. Um, yeah, well, hang in there, vlog. You'll find somebody, I'm sure. And nice to see you too, Raquel. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Philippines bound. Good morning to you. So I understand that, in some of the profiles that I've seen online, girls are, single or widowed, and they have three kids, and they're or four or five kids in one case, and um, they really need financial support more than anything, and that's why they're looking for a husband. They want somebody that can help them out, and can't say as I blame them. I mean, I know the Philippines is a fairly poor country, and so it makes it very hard. Um, hey Ken, good to see you. And it's uh, but that's the fact that you as a single mom need financial support is not really what the guy is going. I mean, the guy's not interested in that. He's interested in you. What kind of person are you? And the other things can sort themselves out later. So in my case, when Vivian and I met, she had three kids and I had two kids, so we were like, um, you know, we had similar interests in everything. But a single guy may not be interested in a woman that has five children already. He become an instant dad, and he may or may not. I mean, some will, some won't. So I really don't know. But it does seem to me that on a lot of these, the girls just too quickly shoot out the "I love you," and they're sending little hearts and all kinds of things like that. And that can generally be a turnoff to a guy right away. I mean, like Jack said, after 6-7 months, you can kind of expect that, but not right away. Not after a week. That's just a little too soon, I think. And like I said, in my case, I need to meet in person. And before I can make that connection. Yeah, Marilyn and Raquel, you both make good points. There's hey Sarah, good to see you. there's there are a lot of scammers on these websites, and so you really have to be careful. Mainly, like I said, we talked about discernment. You need to really think through. It can be flattering to have a handsome man or a beautiful woman interested in you on one of these websites, and you can let your guard down. But you do have to keep in mind if they ask you for money, it's a scam. Just plain and simple, and even get those that hint at it. They're not asking directly, but they're hinting at it. They need a load for their phone or whatever. And like I said, I understand. I know I've been to Cebu many times. I have family there. I know how tough life can be. But you got to. I'm not a particularly rich guy. I mean, I know compared to the Philippines, I am, but in reality, I'm not, and I can't just give money away. And I support my family, my stepchildren in the Philippines, and I send money to them every month, but they're my stepchildren. So one of the things to watch out for is asking for money. And it works the other way too. I know my sister-in-law was dating a guy, or chatting with a guy, and he was supposedly coming to the Philippines to visit her. She lives up in Pampanga, and started requesting that she send him some money because he needed money to get through the airport or whatever. And she actually contacted me and asked what I thought, and I said it's a scam. Don't, a guy coming to meet a girl in the Philippines, if he doesn't have enough money to deal with the airport and the airfare and everything else, and he has no business coming to the Philippines, let's face it. Yeah, it's going to cost a few bucks, but you should be prepared for that. If not, he'll end up one of those guys that's homeless on the street, and any girl in her right mind is not going to want to have anything to do with that. Hey, Tens, yeah, long distance relationships are tough. They just are. But hang in there. If he's a good guy, if he's the right guy, then everything will work out for you. Hey, Amelia, I am well, thank you. How are you? Yeah. Philippines bound says his wife was already supporting herself, and yeah. Yeah, man. Comments are starting to go by so fast. I don't have time to read them. Material things. Yeah, Marilyn. I mean, ultimately that's what it should be about. But any Western guy is going to be much better off than the average Filipino. I mean, they're going to have, enough money that they can live comfortably. You and your husband or boyfriend will be able to live comfortably. So, hi, Melody. Nice to see you too. Yeah, Vivian, Philippines bound says his wife is 10 years younger. Vivian was 12 years younger than me. There is, I think, a difference when you think about age gaps in the Philippines. Filipinas tend to want to be around older guys because they're more mature. So many Filipinos run out on their women. They'll get them pregnant. They'll have a few babies, and next thing you know, the guy is gone. So. Yeah, so they tend to like that. But once again, that's a generalization, and it doesn't apply to everybody. Different people have different ways of looking at it. Yeah, that's true. Deval Jack is just saying, you got to treat your woman right, and if you're a good man, you're going to do that. Hey, Arlen, hello. No, you're not late. I started early today. Raquel, could you recommend me a good man? Yeah, no, I just don't have a pool of good men sitting around to recommend to you. Yeah, a lot of people say 10 years is a good age gap. Um, for me, it's not really important. It's what's in a person's heart that counts. Um, obviously, um, if she's too young, then that would be like, dating your daughter or something. So to me, that's just kind of weird. Um, Hey, Arlen, whatever you want to talk about is fine, but we're talking about dating right now. Yeah, Maryland. Yeah, right, right. Yeah. So what Maryland's saying is that an older guy is tends to be a little more serious in the relationship, not wanting to run around and sow his wild oats and to a bunch of different women, and that's true. That's probably true. I think those of us that are older, like me, for instance, I'm looking for a woman that I can settle down with, and I'm getting close to the age when I'm going to retire, and I want to be able to chill out and coast through the rest of my life. Um, and I would love to have a beautiful wife to enjoy that with me. So yeah. So Arlen, is there something you wanted to talk about? No, something other than relationships? Can you apply? What are you applying for? Well, I saw her today in the reception, glass of wine in her hand. I knew she was going to meet her connection. At her feet was a footloose man. I said, you can't always get what you want. No, no. I can't always get what you want. Said you can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, you might find you get what you need. Yeah, get what you need. Yes, you do. Yeah, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, you just might find you'll get what you need. That's my bluesy version of a Rolling Stones song there. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, of course. Arlen, yes, I'm looking. I'm glad you like it. Hi, Amper. Thank you for the compliments. My voice isn't I'm not that great a singer, but I find things that work with my voice. Yeah, it's good to see you guys too. Hey, Josie, good to see you. Yeah, yeah, you gotta, The other thing is that Josie's talking about, she was chatting with a guy and he asked her for money. Sometimes, I mean, look, let's say I wanted to be a scammer. I could just pull like 4 or 5 pictures of a handsome man or a beautiful girl and post those, set up an account on these websites and pretend that I'm this person, and and I've seen this a bunch of times, and normally I catch on to it pretty quick, but you're not really talking to the person whose pictures you're seeing, so you're seeing pictures on a computer screen, but that's not really the person that's behind the account. Behind the account could be some guy in Africa, who knows? And they say they're from, Manila or Cebu or whatever, but they're, they're, hey, May, thank you. But they're really, just scamming. Okay. They're just scamming and they're looking for an opportunity, to ask you to send them money. They're trying to get you to fall in love with the picture on the screen. Okay. And, which is why, like I said, I insist I have to meet someone in person. I'm not going to tell you I love you until I've spent time with you. And that's just the way it goes. A lot of people get burned by these scammers, Another good way to tell is to, how many of you have like Viber, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger? Probably everybody, right? And so, what you can do, when we get to chatting with them on the website, say Filipino Cupid or something, and you're chatting with them, is you say, I have a WhatsApp. Why don't you, here's my number. Why don't you connect with me on WhatsApp? And then you can do a video conference with them. And that'll help you feel a little more like you're actually dealing with a real person and not some scam behind the computer screen, if that makes sense. So you can chat with them, video, Facebook Messenger, Viber, WhatsApp, Skype. Skype's another one you can do. There are some scammers that have gone, that have even gone to the point of of having video for Skype and things like that. That you have to pay close attention even when you're doing that, because what he or she is saying may not be the words that are coming out of their mouth. So you gotta really be careful with it. So, but yeah, it's really easy to set up one of those fake accounts. Hey, Vlog, what are you going somewhere? Melody, you signing off? Yeah. In other words, yeah, Ken. Yeah, that's right. I mean, still pictures on a computer are nothing. I mean, they mean nothing. It's just a way of introducing, of meeting a person for the first time. But after that, you really should go to Cam, and there are lots of apps that do it. Just about everybody has it. So, and so one of those things you want to do for your own protection, really. Yeah, Josie, I don't know. You can also just block them, Um, Well, yeah, it tends if he's your fiance, then you have a right to be jealous. Um, and yeah, you're right. He probably should not be flirting with your friend. Um, Fiance is, so you have this kind of like, I guess, four stages. You have I just met you, right? And we're chatting. So we're friends, but we're not anything more than that. I mean, we're just chatting. So you're free to go chat with whoever you want, and I'm free to chat with whoever I want. And um, there's no uh, connection, no. We're not boyfriend girlfriend yet. Okay. So then the next stage is, yeah, so we met, we spent a couple of weeks together in Cebu or wherever, and I asked you to be my girlfriend, and you're my girlfriend now. Now we have a something of a committed relationship. Okay, so at this point, I should not. If I ask you to be my girlfriend, then um, I'm not going to be chatting with other girls. Okay, at that point. Then, if I ask you to marry me and you become my fiance, I definitely should not be chatting with any other girls. Okay, I mean, and nor should you be chatting with anyone else. That means that the next step, we're going to get married. So, um, at that first stage, though, guys and girls are just looking around and seeing what's out there. And, so at that point, there's no commitment. But once it moves to the stage of being boyfriend, girlfriend, then it's a little more, the level of commitment is higher. Yes, Mary Jane, I have a WhatsApp and I use it. Yeah, Josie, 50, yeah, I know how you feel. I mean, I don't know, I was 50 something when Vivian and I got married. Now I'm 62. Yeah, yeah. I know. Nurse, I saw about the rain. Gosh, it's been raining really hard. Yeah. So not in the south though. I think I didn't notice too much rain in Cebu, but it's that time of year where the monsoons come in, and then coupled with the um, typhoons and the low pressures that are spinning around out there in the Pacific. Yeah, it's a bad time for a lot of rain. I guess we're going to be seeing a lot of that. Um, it's a little premature, Mary Jane. Why don't you look me up on Filipino Cupid first? Um, I don't chat very many. Um, just a couple of girls I chat on Viber or WhatsApp, and so I don't just add random people. I don't even know what you look like. And I tend to. I have family in Cebu, so I tend to look more for girls that are in Cebu, um, because I may make it to Manila one of these days, but I'm not. I don't like hang out there, so I tend to be in Cebu. Uh, hey, Josie. Yeah, well, don't give up hope. Hey, Ken. Yeah, it's dry down in Davao. Yeah, I believe it's dry even up in the Visayas. I think it's mainly up in Luzon where the rain has been lately. Yeah, that's true. No, Mary Jane, I'm in Maryland in the USA right now. but my family's in Cebu. So when I come to the Philippines, I come to Cebu. Usually that's where I visit. Well, guys, it's been a pretty good conversation so far, but it looks like people stopped talking. Ah, there we go. Uh, Marilyn, I tend to spend all my time when I'm in the Philippines. I tend to spend my time in Cebu. I'll go. Like last time I was there, I went over to Siargao and went fishing and things like that. But yeah, my base of operations is Cebu, and like I said, I have family there. My stepchildren are there. I have uh, sisters-in-law and brothers-in-law, and all the kids and everything. So my family's there, actually in Minglanilla and Naga, just south of Minglanilla. So I tend to hang out there. My kids, my stepchildren, was just talking to them last night. They want me to come visit, and so yeah, Cebu is nice. I mean, it's a city. I mean, Cebu City is a big city, so I guess it's like any place else. Um, so yeah. Anyway, the point is that if when I'm in the Philippines, I'm in Cebu, and so um, if I'm going to meet up with somebody and to get to know them, they probably need to be in Cebu. Yeah. Thank you, Raquel. Yeah. Now, having said that, does that mean that I would, you know, um, entertain a lady from another place? No, I'm open to that as well. It's just going to make it a lot more difficult because then I have to have I have to make a trip to a different place in order to meet this person, and that makes it a little more difficult. Yeah, Josie, you don't get down on yourself. There's guys out there. Um, you were right, Jack. You were right. They're out there. Now, just because it may not be me, but yeah, Maryland. I don't have a girlfriend yet, so I'm still looking. I guess for the right woman, that if I thought she was the right woman, I would make a trip. Even to another country, like say Thailand or India or you know Malaysia, China. You know, never know. But actually, it's funny because I was talking the other day to just kind of geopolitical thing and how China has a lack of women. Because of that, they had that one child policy for a long time, and families were only, they would get the women would get abortions if they knew they were carrying a girl because everybody wanted to have a son. Now the problem is that there are too many guys, not enough girls. So um, there's a thought for you ladies that maybe a Chinese guy might be someone you want to talk to. Sometimes the issue there can be the language, because a lot of Chinese don't speak a lot of Chinese guys don't speak English, and so if you speak Tagalog, Cebuano, English, chances are the Chinese guy's not going to speak any one of those languages. But you never know. You look around on the sites. You can look specifically for a Chinese guy. Someone there. As a matter of fact, somebody was telling me there's a large Chinese community, I think, in Davao, right, guys? Yeah, there is. I was watching JLB the other night, and he did a thing on Chinatown in Davao. So you can look for that as well. So yeah, there's a lot of Chinese men in Cebu. Actually, someone I met along the lines was teaching in Cebu. It was on a flight there. Okay, so I'm flying from Hong Kong to Cebu, and after the flight landed, we're going through the line in the queue to go to the immigration where to stamp your passport, right? And I asked this girl who was in line there with me if she knew why there were so many Chinese people in the coming from Hong Kong to Cebu. I guess from China, they went to Hong Kong and then catch the flight from Hong Kong to Cebu. And it turned out that she is an English teacher, and they have schools in the Philippines that teach English to Chinese, and the vast majority of the Chinese were going to Cebu to attend a school to learn how to speak English. Yeah. Yeah, vlog. That's kind of how I do it. WhatsApp, Viber, whatever. But yeah, you talk to somebody on cam, and then you can figure out pretty quick that you got a real person. That's important, because you got to get past all the scammers, and there's tons of them out there. But once you get beyond the scammers, and you actually get to talk to a real person, then life gets better. It gets better then, because you're talking to a real person and not a fake profile. Thanks, Jack. Thanks for joining us. Have a good one. Hey, chicken choker. Yeah. Yeah, so using an app like WhatsApp or Viber is a good thing to do. And actually, I have to do some work on my phone. Well, good night, Raquel. Have a good one. I have to get a bigger memory card for my phone, because I'm running low on memory now. Because I downloaded those apps onto my phone, it's taking up space. So, all right, guys, see ya. I guess it's time to wrap this up. We've been going for about an hour now. And like I said, I do have to get some toilet repaired in here, so I'm going to go off and do that. Anybody have any last questions before I go? Hey, Josie. Well, try and stay safe and dry. Okay. But not much we can do about the rain. That's God's thing. Hey, Christina. Good to see you also. Thank you. We'll see you guys. See you, Raquel. Everybody take care. See you, Tins. Bye-bye.